Up next, it's Albie, and Albie's going to discuss why he reckons the scourge of anti-Semitism isn't being taken as seriously as other forms of racism. Take it away, Albie.
Why is it, for so many people in this country, racism is totally unacceptable unless it's racism against Jewish people? Now, since the Israel-Hamas war began on October the 7th, we have seen anti-Semitic hate crime increase in this country by 1,350%. 1,350%. British Jews feel unsafe to walk the streets of our towns and cities. There's extra security that has had to be hired at synagogues, Jewish schools, Jewish shops. People are just not able to live their lives safely. We have large-scale protests in our major towns and cities every weekend where protesters are holding up anti-Semitic signs. There was even a report of a Nazi sign at a protest today in London. In fact, someone was arrested for exactly that today. This is acceptable in modern Britain in 2023. Could you imagine for 1 second if this was another ethnic group? Could you imagine if there were large-scale protests every week where there were people holding up anti-black slogans, anti-Asian slogans, being openly racist on the streets of England? It just would not be tolerated. So why is it that we tolerate it for British Jews? Why is it OK for anti-Semitism but not other forms of racism? It's totally wrong. Now, our national broadcaster, the BBC, which I often defend, has done something absolutely reprehensible. There's a march against anti-Semitism tomorrow, and the BBC have banned their staff from attending over impartiality rules. Now, could you imagine if the BBC had banned their staff from going to the BLM protests? Could you imagine? Would that have ever happened? No, it would never have happened. These double standards have got to stop. This, in the same week that top BBC sports pundit Gary Lineker shared a tweet which likened what is going on in Israel and Gaza to the Holocaust. Absolutely shameful. The double standards have got to stop. We've got to call out racism wherever we see it, and we have got to iron out the scourge of anti-Semitism from British society.